is the reference of horse are there. They are tugging the loads. So it talks about how hard work is there in the city to achieve our dreams. So these animals have been referred. I don't know if I'm missing someone. Mm. And he says that life is just the life in Chicago is very hard, and it is just like the life in the sea and the life in the jungles. So these two images, and then he uses different kinds of clothes. Like he explains the style of dressing of Drought in a different manner. That how flashily he dresses up. He talks about how nicely and impressingly uh, the what's the name of that? I'm forgetting. Just a second.
Hurstwood.
Yeah, how decently he's dressed. His shoes have been referred, his clothing style, his cuffings, and the pink t-shirt shirt has been explained, stripe. So all these kinds of he basically tries to make the difference with using different types of clothes. And he also refers that how Sister Carrie is earlier dressed in just in a very shabby kind of person, and just in a ruler kind of dressing sense was there. And later on she just comes up as an elite, high class lady to the end, when she achieves her dream of being an actress. So these are few common imageries which are used by. And then there is the rocking chair is also there, which shows the symbol of the restlessness and the unstable world. The thoughts are unstable. It's just moving like the chair, rocking chair. And yeah, newspaper is also used when we see that Hurstwood is he reads the newspaper and he just tries to, earlier he was there to search for the jobs, and later on uh, he refers to that newspaper just as a time pass material to just kill his time. And theater is also one of the image which is used for expressing the word of dreams, glamour, money, and desires. So these are few common images which we can refer to. I don't know if I'm missing any other. You all can add.
Anyone want to add anything?
I
Neha,
definitely don't want
sharing.
to add it, but maybe a suggestion if you're writing is, I mean, there was just too many images, so I mean, I didn't even think of some of them. Maybe, when we can start with talking about how most of the imagery that is used is a emphasizer for the themes of the novel. And because most of the imagery that Alka you were mentioning were about loneliness, city, it was
Yes.
about disillusionment. So maybe that can be introduced first, and then you can talk about like the clothes, or the decadent lifestyle and so on.
Yeah, this can be the intro part, and
Yeah.
it would be
No, I'm
great.
just thinking out
Yeah,
loud.
no, that would be great. Any other one wants to add any other theme which I have left, any other image I have left?
I think we should go to the next question. You have discussed a lot of things on the imagery, right? I don't
So
think
the
that you have
next
left
is,
anything. Let me go with the next
hope
question.
so.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
the next question. The next question is Sister Carrie as finest modern women. Okay, this was a question. Okay, who is assigned that? Let me see.
Leboni.
It's Laboni. Laboni. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Hello.
Laboni, are you there? Yeah. Just please take the lead.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, in this answer, I have noted some points on which we can talk about One is about the new woman, which emerged during the feminist movement in America. Next is about the unconventional views of genders. These are the points about which I'm going to talk about. So, first, I'm just mentioning the points. Next is about deconstruction of morality. After that, revolt. So, should I discuss the points straight away, or should I begin how we are going to begin the answer?
How are we going to begin the answers? That's important. And then you discuss the points, okay? We are not going to skip anything.
Okay, so I'll begin with how we are
Junaid,
starting the
few
answer.
students are unable to join. They are texting me.
There is only one student who is not able to join because she was asking which poem is going on. Okay, I am not interested to add that student. Okay, okay, fine. Let's continue.
Okay,
Okay.
so since we had this essay for our assignment, so I'm just reading it out from there itself. So the question, as I'm repeating again, discuss the character of Carrie as one of the finest modern women in American fiction. So we'll begin it as with the publication of Sister Carrie in 1900. Drazier commits his literary force to opening the new ground of American naturalism. Means first we'll begin with what is American naturalism short, then his way of treating romance was different. That's the reason why Sister Carrie was not published uh, when he wanted to publish it. Then about Sister Carrie being a protagonist who shifts to another city because she cannot find a job or a proper life where she lived. After that, one thing which was certain is that she did not wanted to remain poor the way she was. She wanted to improve her economic condition. After that, she uses men, Druid and Hurstwood as a male step ladder in order to achieve what she wanted to achieve. After that, uh, a- at that time, it is surprising that Dresier escapes writing a maudlin tale of a fallen girl. Means instead of writing a tale of a damsel in distress, he writes the story of a lady who is 1 minute. Okay. At that time, it is surprising that Dresier escapes writing a maudlin tale of a fallen girl rescued at the end, and the men in this novel are the ones being preyed upon, which consolidate his position and power as one of America's foremost novelists. This is the introduction. After that, I'm straight away going to the explanation of the points. First thing is about the new woman. So, the feminist movement is the first time that pushes the conception of new women on the history stage. Now, the new woman typically has a career and is economically independent, which is the production of the Industrial Revolution. Sister Carrie is given many tints of individual characters, and the character developing is shown clearly from a country girl who is under the control to an independent new woman. When I'm writing new woman, I'm mentioning it in quotes, which has rewritten the traditional concepts of within quotes femininity. At the beginning, she puts all her hopes on the men, so she considers the kindness and geniality from Druid and Hurstwood as the protection against the outside dangers. After a long time, Carrie finds the talents for acting accidentally. She does have a career, and her ability is shown entirely when her hope for men is shattered completely. She decides to become independent openly and upright, so she leaves Hurstwood. The decision shows the self-consciousness of her, which demonstrate the characters of new women vividly. So with this, I finished the first point, which is the new woman. Moving on to the next point, which is about the unconventional views of the genders. The novel Sister Carrie seems to be the platform which Drezier explores his unconventional views of genders. Drezier uses the men around her to get what she wants, and it is those men who are victimized by her. It would seem that Carrie, while outwardly benign, Benign, and possibly even deserving her portrayal as a sweet and innocent at the beginning, soon emerges as a ruthless predator in the hide of a helpless woman. From her relationship with Druid, she manages to gain the experience and social skills to pursue her higher aspirations. When he no longer has anything when he no longer has anything he can offer to her, she drops him in favor of Hurstwood. In this way, we can narrate the story in short to explain what are the things that she does, which is unlikely for the women of those times. So, in that way, we can write that this would seem to be what Dresia really intends by these definite reversals of male female roles. Now, moving on to the next point, deconstruction of morality. Gentility and altruism, spelling of altruism is Altruism, are both suicidal behaviors in a society in which material is the life center, money is the norm of success and failure, and the traditional morality is challenged and suspected. Dreesier has to consider the place of morality in human society. Carrie is not the person who defends the moral purity of the Victorian times because her behavior is driven by self-interest. For example, when Druid seduces her to leave her sister's house, Dresia implies because of the glimmering of reason she is controlled and led by her instinctive needs by the fact that Druid stands for, at this point, the opulence of Chicago, which she imagines, and he will supply everything far superior to that providing provided by the Hansons on a level commensurate with her craving for pleasure. Means writing that she is an opportunist because anyway she had nothing to do because she had lost the job and she was not able to suffice for herself. Now, Ricia's attempt in the passage is to free Carrie from moral responsibility for her action to suggest that not only Carrie, but most men at the stage of evolutionary development are more led than leading, LED led than leading. Ricia believes that, within quotes, there are three different kinds of moral principles that these exist in hierarchical order. Now, at the uh, end of this point, we can write that Hurstwood dies being tired of the struggle, while Carey succeeds in the end with material affluence, A, FFLUN, FFLUENC, and the promise of an aesthetic world in a shaking chair. Like Alka said, the image of the rocking chair, which is there in the novel. So at the end of the novel, we get the image of the rocking chair. So that's why the shaking chair, it represents an astonishing breakthrough in the presentation of amoral actions by characters estranged from the social and sexual pretenses of their day. So, with this, we finish the deconstruction of morality over here. Because at those times, as we all know, women are shown to be devoted to their husbands. No matter what happens to them, they don't leave them. But she moves out of it, whatever relation she had with Hurstwood, and she thinks of her economic development at the cost of an amoral approach. Now, moving on to revolt, Carrie's revolt is quiet but decisive. Finding the conventional domestic sphere for women menial as well as stifling, Carrie decides she will not, within quotes, live cooped up in a small flat with someone who treats her like a, within quotes, servant. She decides for the second time to go to work and at this point switches roles with the unemployed Hurstwood. What Drisya calls within quotes beginning of the new order occurs when Carrie starts earning the money while Hurstwood begins to do the shopping. Carrie is not simply rebelling against her within quotes husband, but more significantly against the role that women were traditionally supposed to follow. Change in the social position of either gender often creates a predicament for the other. This is certainly the case of within quotes new woman comes to the scene for she threatened men in ways her mother never did. Hurstwood's decline illustrates the conclusion of one historian that feminine revolt was creating tension and confusion and challenging the masculine paradigm. Man can be changed or failed, and this establishment, new women of Carrie, only being dependent on economy, can make it possible to be equal on mind. And concluding the answer, Sister Carrie is a mature piece of work of high ideological and artistic power. It shows clearly the break of the gentilism, Gentleelism, and the reflection of American reality. It's reasonable enough to be the key attacking core in the 20th century of America on the basis of naturalism and betrayal of the new woman and the tint of rebelling character which do not influence the contemporary life but also the later generation in the field of literature. So this was my answer for the question. Sister Carrie is one of the finest modern women in American fiction.
You have covered almost everything. Oh my God. Ankar, is anything left out?
No, she
Okay,
did
thank you.
everything great.
Thank you, Lavoni, for covering everything. I, is
There
anybody
was no
there?
question in our assignment, so it was already prepared for me.
Yeah, yeah. Is there
I
anybody
read
who
it
wants
out
to
from
add anything to it? Anyone wants to add anything? Or just we move on to the next question?
We should run to the next.
Sure. Okay, now I'm going to take the next question. Okay, the next question is Sister Carrie as a city novel. Okay, I think it is assigned to Sharon. Sharon,
Hmm.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here. There might be disturbances in my background. There's a lot of events happening.
your
Uh,
voice
ठीक
is
है?
so loud, it doesn't matter the
Oh,
background. Okay,
cool. No, I was wearing a special headset, so I was like, I hope. Anyway, um, first of all, can I just say, first time trying this out, so spare me. And because especially around that I'm coming after Laboni, it's like, यार मैंने तो नहीं लिखा इतना. I have the main points in hand and maybe just a structure of how I would go about this question. This is about Sister Carrie as a city novel. Um, I talk about the setting of the novel. So the setting of the novel is in the second half of the 19th century, where America was moving from an agrarian society to an industrial power. There was large scale industrialization and urbanization that was happening during this time. There was a boom in communication, transportation, and so on, all leading to a remarkable and distinctive rise in immigration to cities. Cities were growing, expanding, and so social awareness starting, sorry, and societal awareness, sorry, starting to shift focus from the villages and towns to the cities, which became the foci. Um, Being a naturalistic novel, the city setting lends itself to the type of happenings and events that occur in the novel. We see the, sorry, in the novel, Sister Carrie, the city becomes an elemental point in the lives of the main characters who all have their journeys and are remarkable in them. Centered around a move to the city and later to a big city, all these transitions are reflective of the change in their personalities and lives, as well as how people, especially Carrie, conforms to the shifting scenario and settings. Sorry, my notes are all over the place. Yeah, Dreiser views the city as a place that causes degeneration. He uses words such as vials, degenerate, decay, tempter, signifying the atrociousness and the vilification of city, similar to that of devil and the devilish nature of a city. He portrays a city as an alluring force that is yet negative. It is seen in the moral and the decay. It is in the moral decay of men of the main characters, um, like Hurstwood, Carrie, and so on. The transitions to the city show the complexities of living in different larger urban spheres. Um, it shows how an enthusiasm, no, sorry, it shows how ruralized and simply naive people are vilified into the wilds of a city, how they are tempted, similar to what Dreiser's view about the city was. The city represents disillusionment, um, and shows Carrie holding high expectations similar to an American dream towards her life in terms of romance, wealth, and fame, which all eventually turn to disappointment. When she falls in love, um, each lover disappoints her, and uh, each lover disappoints her and leaves her brokenhearted. Whereas when she runs for wealth, that also falls flat, and yet she is left feeling lonely. When she struggles and strives for fame, we see that she does achieve it, but doesn't ever isn't ever satisfied. Through the quote Chicago dawning, she saw the city offering more of lonely loveliness than she had ever known. Chicago, New York, Druidhurst, with the world of fashion and the world of stage. They were but incidents, not them, but that which they represented, she longed for. Time proved the representation false. This emphasizes her disillusionment towards city life, her fascination towards the merchandise seen through the pleasures of city life in Chicago and later on New York City increase but lead to a distant relation. Okay, okay, I think that's about it. I have lost 2 points somewhere here.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay, it's all over.
Maybe what I can do is probably write them all down and
Okay,
I'll
okay,
share it.
good. See, it is good one that you have explained it so nicely. Okay, Alka, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Do
We
you
can
think
just
anything missing?
add that. We
Yes.
can just add that this particular novel is set in New York and Chicago, which is like Desiree himself had a very nice relationship with this, like love-hate relationship with these two cities, and that's why he could easily reflect the realistic portion of these two cities and lots of luxurious restaurants and the growth of the rich and the poor side have been explained well. He had very nicely depicted the difference between the classes here through their flats, their interior portions. Uh, they are well explained in the novel. So we can say that the overall setting of city life has been explained with the infrastructure as well as uh, their he had mentioned different kinds of like the shoe factory has been mentioned. So he had touched
Okay, okay,
upon the industries and the other these portions as well.
okay, fine. That is
Also, yeah, I
yes.
would like to,
Shika is what
yeah, yeah, I would
Shika.
like to add that we can also say that these both cities are the cities of conflicts, contradictions, and praise as well on the same side. Like we can say that on one side, These two cities are the cities of fame, success, growth of art, culture, and commerce, money, luxury, power, authority. And on the other side, we can say that these two, the same cities, are all symbolize social disparity, class difference, ruthlessness, violence, poverty, struggle, failure, fear, and constant state of desire, and also of newspaper, that a newspaper becomes a mirror image of the city, which reflects diversity, variety, and plurality. That's it from my side.
Alka, I don't think anything left now, is it?
Nothing is left.
Okay. See, now I
I just
want
like
to.
to, yeah, I just like to add
Yes.
that, like, Shikha mentioned about the newspaper and everything. Use of those imagery, the ones that Alka mentioned, like the long list. Maybe some of them can be quoted here to emphasize about how it is a city novel. The imagery that is used to stress on it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we can add those.
Now, Alka, I want to take a question from the great Gatsby just for the moment. After that, we will come back to the Sister Carrie. The question is, mm, how Great Gatsby is a critique of the American society. Ruchika, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, please, if you can. Okay, just put some light on the critique to American society. Okay.
Okay, shall I go with the introduction of the author, or directly to critique of the American society?
You,
Directly to the.
yeah, you can directly go to this society. If there is any importance for the author as well, you just give some quick points so
Yeah,
that we don't miss anything.
okay. Yeah, actually, this novel is depicting the social criticism. It can be said critique to the society, because first I'll tell the points on the basis of morality, hollowness among the relationships, and um, betrayal, ingratitude towards between the relations, and a tragic death of Gatsby, and the American dream, a decaying of American dream. Fitzgerald portrays the 1920s as an era of decayed social and moral values, and which is perfectly depicted in this novel, The Great Gatsby. As we can see the hollowness among the relations, we can see at the tragic death of Gatsby, everyone was there to uh, eat at its place, free of cost. But hardly anyone showed up at his funeral. They were only attracted by his wealth and his party, and they were not attached to the men in any way. Uh, Materialism is also seen as a critique to American society. Uh, Gatsby and Daisy. Gatsby was in the pursuit of Daisy. It was, in a sense, in his American dream, a sense to attain Daisy, to attain American dream. They were more for him one or the same thing. But for Daisy, she has left Gatsby in order to attain her maintain her social status in the society, in order to secure her financially. So she married Tom, and rejected Gatsby, who was not well settled, not from so good class. But while comparing Tom, who was from the East Egg. Actually, there has been three classes, three groups depicted in this novel by Fitzgerald. Uh, Old money, which is depicted by the location of East Egg, new money by the West Egg, and no money by the Valley of Ashes. These very names also symbolizes their places. Like Valley of Ashes. Ashes means nothing. So uh, uh, all hopelessness, no money. Similarly, West Egg represents new money, which has not been acquired or inherited, but has been gained or achieved by own effort. Though Gatsby has gained it by criminal activities or some bootlegging business, uh, but that doesn't matter to Daisy, who was just who just wanted to reunite with Gatsby when she met him again after 5 years. After she was being impressed by her lavish parties, and when Gatsby, at a time when Gatsby showed his expensive shirts to Daisy, she just broke down emotionally, and it is very ironically that she never broke down when she first met Daisy after so long time, but after seeing his collection of fabulous, costly, expensive shirts, she broke down. She was she mean to say that uh, uh, this she has left Gatesby, and she will not be in. She couldn't achieve. She couldn't achieve his wealth now. There are no true relationships in the novel, and that is the most important critique to American society. No one is true in his or her relationship, whether it be Tom or Daisy, whether it be Wilson or Myrtle, and also money and materialism. They take over compassion and sensitivity in the novel. The moral decay of emotion, the lead to societal decay, and uh, the decay of American dream. The American dream is actually described as uh, American dream can be simply said that achieving, if you are doing any hard work, you will be achieving. uh, no Your hard work will not get in vain. You will be achieving it. But here, though Gatsby is rewarded financially, but through the activities that are the threat to any society, bootlegging or criminal business. So morally, this novel is all the characters, they are morally undermined, they are morally bankrupt, and there's a darker aspect of the American dream that so Daisy and Tom, they got protection from any real consequences. We all know they are wrong in one way or the other. Daisy cheat upon Tom also, and Gatsby also. And Tom also was having an extramarital affair. And it was Tom whose lie led to Gatsby's death by murder by the name, Wilson. But still, it was Daisy and Tom who got protection from any real consequences. So, in this way, it is also a critique to the American society. So,
Okay.
this, yeah, I think I've covered most of the
Yeah,
points. So,
yeah, yeah.
anything else?
Alka, is anything left?
No, I don't
Anybody?
think everything is.
Okay, okay. See, we are doing this now. Just Avya Mathur, are you there? Hello,
She's
Avya.
there.
I think she's not audible to anyone. Not at all. You should try to rejoin then. Maybe there is a problem at your end. Okay, now we are going back to Sister Carrie. Okay, the question that we are going to do is, Kalyani ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
The actual question is naturalism and realism in Sister Carrie. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
and the girl who was assigned, she's not available because of some personal reasons. Okay,
Okay,
can you hit
okay.
that question?
Okay, let me see. I have made some of the notes about it. Just now I found it. Actually, very first of all, apologies to everyone. I was not in the state to make anything today for today's session because of some personal work. So,
Naturalism and realism, these two things are
yeah,
really
yeah.
very okay. Fine,
Yeah,
you
these
okay.
two things are really important. See, naturalism, as the word says, naturalism or the natural human nature, you can say in very simple words. I will say till then I'm searching where I have written these things. See, naturalism is the natural human nature that can be depicted. First of all, we are doing Sister Carrie and Great Gatsby. In both the novels, the most important part is the American dream. That is the major theme of the novel. Both these novels, I think, right? So what we see in both of them, that human have crossed the limit of human part, or we should say they have no relation with the emotions. They are like Sister Carrie. What happened? She was just a very simple village girl, but then she was fascinated with the Chicago and the city life. So, how city life Drazer has explained in the novel is that city life is about cut, or we should say undergoing social changes, like everyone is thinking about themselves. First of all, Carrie was had some emotions with Druid. She was like worried if I am living with my sister, that yes, I have to make money so that I can give my rent to my brother-in-law or sister. Okay, now what happened? Carrie here, she leaves her natural or the human nature, right? It is a kind of transformation. Actually, I am not ready. Let me see once more again. Sorry about it. Literally sorry about it. Uh,
No problem. Let's see if Alka has written some points over that. Alka, have
yeah,
you
yeah.
some points?
Please, please. Till then, if I
Alka,
get, I'll continue.
Alka,
Yes, let me check. Just a second.
because there are multiple questions and there is always a question with related to naturalism, realism, transcendentalism.
Yes, yes. I have seen that questions are being repeated about these things.
Yeah.
We can say, can I add
Yes, yes,
something?
please. Yes,
Can,
please. Yes, please.
Please.
we, yeah, we can say that it is a totally an urban setup, and it is a depiction of life in the society in the city, where everything is everything is based on uh, not morals, but luxury and power, money, wealth, gone. Capitalization. We can also talk about capitalization, class difference, a tale which is about the loss of innocence.
True, absolutely correct, Shikha. I will agree with you that it is about loss of innocence. Now, I just got my point what I have written. Actually, naturalism in literature during late 19th and 20th century movement was inspired by adaptation of principle and methods of natural science. And we do know that science was also developing that time, and especially the Darwin's view of nature. And all of us are aware of this one of the very famous thing, that is survival of the fittest, right? So this thing applies somewhere in the novel. I'm repeating again. Naturalism in literature during late 19th and 20th century movement was inspired by adaptation of principles and methods of natural science, especially with Darwinian view of nature. Right. Now, actually, Drager in his novel has shown or has actually dealt with a very fast changing society. Right. He is concerned with the surface details or the should say result of his intuitive grasp of their significance in defining essence of society transitions. Means people were changing. Actually, the American novel basically came into existence after the revolution. We all of us know that British colony were over there. Then during those British colonies, what happened was people started writing, but it was not about literature but about mythology. People Puritan ideas were spread all about. But when the British colonizers started asking about the tax, now a revolt came, a kind of revolution, that a revolution came, that why should we pay the tax? And after that, actual American novels came into existence. And Drazer has used this point of transition or change in society in the way that shows that how human mind changes. Now, if we talk about Sister Carrie, now Laboni, she has explained very well. Heads off to you, Laboni. Then the best part here we can see that that this nature or Sister Carrie, from being very simple girl, she turns out to be the one who just want to fulfill her dreams. Right? Now, what is she depicting? The Darwinian view, survival of the fittest. Right? She is showing that if one person can achieve what they think or the particular position in the society, then it is called a fittest person of the society. Now, Drazier was the first major American novelist with such background of immigrants whose thoughts were completely rebellious to the religious belief of his Catholic father. Right now, Drazer was searching for confirmation of his own ideas in the work of Herbert Spencer, Charles Darwin, and Balzac in the sense of intellectual evolution. Right, how people minds are changing, how people are detaching with themselves. Sister, this year Carrie was she was here, but she just wanted the money. She was not so much attached to her sister, but only wanted to grow up with more money. So this desire made her to cheat people, that I have to achieve. She was fantasized with the beautiful dresses. So for that, she left Druid and married Hertzwood. Why? Because she is able to fulfill her American dreams. Now, Drazer was also attracted towards understanding materialist world or the materialism, where social forces retain superhuman power, pushing an individual in a particular direction with logic of natural events. I will repeat it again. Fraser was also attracted while writing this novel. You can easily relate this. He was attracted towards understanding materialistic world or materialism, where social forces retain superhuman power, pushing an individual in a particular direction with logic of natural event. Now, this is very important point, that naturalism or the natural events in the Sister Carrie. Now, you can easily relate American Dream, पैसा पावर घर मकान पहचान यही है. This is American dream, right? What she did, she was eager that I want to have my own image, I want to grow up, I should have my own dignity, I should have my own reputation. And that made the events very natural for her. If we look at the storyline of the Sister Carrie, every event will look very natural to you, because women, they were standing for themselves. It was the time of revolution, it was a change in the society. So if we see they were, if we say that Carrie was cheating or no, but when you look at the overall picture, it will look like इसे तो ऐसा करना ही था, she has to do that, otherwise वो कुछ नहीं होती. She would have been nothing more than a worker in a shoe company. But in order to achieve, these things happen, which look very natural to us, right? Now, there is the one of the opening paragraph of chapter 8, which shows paradoxical state of man occasioned by Carrie's plight. She left her sister house and moved to rented house by drought. See how she is transforming. She naturally, definitely, she was not so happy. She was not so, should say, not very happy or suited, felt herself suited in his sister's home. So she met with Druid and she had a rented home because of Druid. And slowly from there, when here one point I would like to add, Razor does not find Carrie's action as a fallen woman, right? When we talk about Carrie as a modern woman, definitely we have negative and positive points, but Razor as hasn't portrayed her like a fallen woman. If we talk about very emotional, or we say
कि society have made some norms for the woman, a particular patriarchal norms, like a woman should be like yesterday also we were talking about this uh, color purple. Women are made to take care of the household. Women are made to take care of their children. Women are made to always be indulged in those things. They are not allowed to go or survive in outer world. Now, here, what is Sister Carrie is just opposite to that. I shouldn't say just opposite, but somewhere we can relate them. Right? Now, when we see this novel, the events are quite natural, and definitely Drazer, with these events, had shown that Carrie's actions are not of the fallen woman, even not she is a criminal, but actually it is a symbol of duality in human life situations. Simple thing is, just think about it. She was with Druid. She was getting some acts. She was being recognized slowly, but she was not able to make so much that she can fulfill her desires. Right? She was only observing that how can I fulfill my desire, and that is why she left Druid and chose Hertzwood. What does thing show? Symbol of duality. What imagine what would happen if she would have been only with the Druid? She would have settled with Druid. What would have happened? She would have been a small town actor, nothing else. She would have been working very hard to achieve name and fame. But she was forced to force her own dreams. She was forced by her own self. अगर किसी की लाश पे पैर रख के मैं आगे बढ़ सकती तो बढ़ जाऊं. She did that thing. Okay, that is a symbol of duality of human life. Sometimes the situations come in our, we can easily relate this to our lives too, that we have to choose anything from either I can stay here or I can go to that part. So that is something, and you can say this is naturalism. Naturally you have to take a step. Naturally you have to select a particular event. You have to select do a particular thing to survive in the society, to survive among the human beings. That is about everything about naturalism. Okay. So according to him, unless man evolves further, he cannot find harmony with the world around him. Absolutely. What happens if I or you, we all are here sitting and talking about the novels? What happens if I stop talking about it? I will forget everything. So definitely human evolves. That is a human nature. And if you don't evolve yourself, you don't stand anywhere in the society. So this made Carrie to evolve herself from a simple village girl to a successful actress, and she did everything. She took part in all those events, which somewhere Drazer has portrayed to be very natural event. And definitely we all know that Drazer, he is from the background where he has seen the poverty life also. So he was very easily able to relate this Sister Carrie novel, and yes, very beautifully he was inspired by his sister, I think. Right. No, now the Carrie is actually pushed by the natural forces of humanity. Just see the irony over here. Carrie is actually pushed by the natural forces of humanity, which turn out to be essential for her. By virtue of her reason, she knows the immorality of decision. Somewhere she is aware that I am doing wrong, but still but her instinctive needs gain upper hand and dictate her choices. That means she want to fulfill what we has desire. She want to gain what she wanted. She want to fulfill her American dream. It was all about fascination. It was all about achieving. Okay, she left her natural human emotions. I will
Okay,
repeat this. Yeah.
got it. This is such a long answer, Kalyani.
No, actually I'm saying
It's
very
the
slowly,
background
might be.
portion.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, but this is quite basic actually, because
this
this
is
will
the most
help us to,
important one. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. See, guys, we are having so much contrast in the novels itself. One of the
yeah, yeah.
ladies leaving the man, other and joining another man, and there is another novel which we are going to discuss is the Great Gatsby, where the thing is also different. Okay, now we have finished almost everything of Sister Carrie. Okay, Kalyani ma'am, how much is left for that question answer of naturalism and realism?
No, no, it's very short. I will do it. I will read it actually fast and tell you all. I will keep it in
Just
short. Okay,
give the quick
just two
points
minutes.
because after 10:30 most of the people leaves.
Okay, no,
That's
no,
why.
no. I'll only take 2 minutes here. Don't worry. Okay.
Fine, fine, fine.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So from here we can see that that she knows that she was taking immoral decisions, but she was again in the need to taking up those kind of decision. Now Treasure shows it to be the obvious that Carrie is not a moral responsible for her choices, right? She was not alone in this. Jewett was also attracted towards her. Then later, even Hertzwood, he was, although he was married, he had two children, still he was sorry for this. हाँ बेटा. Okay, okay. So what happened here that even men also they were attracted to her. So now the idea of moral determination, natural evolution, and effect of material conditions on the consciousness of man are not reported as ideas but integrated into fictional context of the critique, the prevailing moral assumptions of the society. I'll repeat it again. The ideas of moral determination, natural evolution, and effect of material conditions on the consciousness of man are not reported as ideas but integrated into the fictional context or critique context to the critique, the prevailing and the moral assumption of the society. Now, from this also we can also see that here Drescher has very beautifully explained the moral realism of American society, which was depicted in the novel. Okay. Now, Lawrence Hussman, while arguing about the importance of Bob Ames, who appears in the two extended scenes in the novel, that how Carrie was impressed with glamour and luxury life. But when Ames tells her that he would not care to be rich enough to spend money in a vulgar manner, Carrie makes to think about a perspective of the worldview, perception of the worldview. Now here we can see very two contrasting characters, Amis and Carrie. That Amis is like I don't want to ruin my own. I should say I'm not getting the word actually. But she said no. I want to gain, so I will do anything. But I can't do such kind of things to achieve money. So now with portrayal of Amish, Drescher uses ideas in the novel who questions ideology of American dream, found of materialistic pursuit of the success and power. Drescher created this character of Amish to disapprove materialistic access of American society. Okay, so well, I will end my discussion over here. I won't take it long. Please continue. Move to the next question.
I think we have covered all the major parts of Sister Carrie. We can move forward with Great Gatsby. Can we? Or anything else is left of Sister Carrie? Social critique. I think we have. It would be covered in the same way that how it's the morality decay and hollowness of life is there, and the city life, how delusion is being shown. All those points would be taken care in the as a social critique, I think.
Alka, I have a question.
Yes.
While writing the answer of social critic, do we have to include that Carrie was an immigrant?
I don't think we need to include that. I don't think. Not very
Okay,
sure, but we do not.
okay. I asked because I wanted to know whether her being an immigrant anyway affects the answer or not. Like we should mention or we should not mention. That's why
No, no,
I
it's
asked.
not. No, no, it won't affect your answer. You can easily skip that part.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now we can come up with the the Great Gatsby part.
Yes, sure.
The question is theme of corruption and influence of money. That would be taken by Aruni. Are you there?
Yes, Alka, I'm here.
Over to you.
Uh,
Hi,
very
Aruni.
shortly.
Aruni, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
I think you are sleeping. Just awake.
You won't allow to sleep. Okay, just short points. Okay,
Just for
fast.
No,
today.
there is nothing short in life. Okay, there is no shortcut. Okay,
Um, Again the same American Dream and
you can
jazz.
skip the parts which are already discussed. Okay, you don't need
Yeah,
to repeat. Okay,
yeah, that's
but
that's what
okay,
I'm saying.
okay, fine.
Again the same American Dream and the discussion of jazz age. Okay. Um, then symbols are there. Some symbols are there. That is green light, describing the east egg and west egg. All right. Green light has been discussed as something unreachable. Okay. Then new money and the old money. And yeah, Gatsby's extravagant house. Next, mantle clock. Do I need to discuss it? Hello.
It would be better if you could give just one line each so that
Okay.
we can add on to
Uh,
that.
okay. Um, it's like green light is something discussed as something unreachable. Okay. Which can be seen but can't be reached. Like it's the American dream that if you pay, even if you reach that royalty or that richness, it's never sufficient. It's never enough, right? There is still a part to be reached, right? And it's discussed about East egg and from the West egg, from the West egg to the East egg. Okay, beyond a body of water, including class, social status, power, and more. Means if you are reaching the in the social status, then everything is included. And what is social status? That is what we show off, whatever we can show off, like extravagance house of Gatsby. Okay, he used to organize parties over there just to show off his house. Then next is mental clock. Next mental clock. Okay, yeah, mental clock. But he next invited Daisy and Gatsby to tea at his house. The clock is a focal point during the interaction. Because Gatsby and Daisy had not seen each other for 5 years, the clock symbolizes the passage of time. Okay. Then next is Gatsby parties, as already discussed. Parties where a glamorous lifestyle of roaming 20s.
Sorry, ma'am, what question are you discussing? Like, in, are you discussing like the symbols or themes? I'm just a bit confused.
That's why I was saying, Aruni, उठ जाओ.
Like the green
Wait a
light and
minute,
the
wait.
mental clock, they are the images or the
Wait.
symbols of
Uh,
uh,
I've been given the influence of money also.
yes,
Theme
the
of
theme of corruption and influence of
influence
money.
of money. Yeah.
But in the influence of money, the mental clock and the green light, I don't think they'll come.
Okay, then I'll say that somebody else has to take this topic then.
What you
Alka.
are discussing are the themes, and like they are not the themes, they are the images or the symbols. Like,
Okay, fine. Just hold on. We don't have that much time to clarify. Okay. Alka, just you add on the points and then we conclude this answer and then we move on to because we are supposed to finish it off before 10:40 or 10:30. Okay.
give me a second, just a second.
Anybody
Let's
wants to add any point? Aruni, do you have some more points to add?
uh
The question is
I
themes of corruption, and influence of money.
But she was discussing imagery part, so let's discuss imagery part first, and then we'll move on to themes.
Okay,
What?
fine.
Yeah,
Aruni,
we can do
please
that.
finish it off, whatever you were discussing. Okay.
Okay. Zunaid.
चलिए.
Okay. So the next mental clock. Okay, I did that. And then Gatsby's parties. Okay, that symbolized glamorous lifestyle of roaming 20s. Again, the corruption that because in his parties, many few knew him and in person, but they used to come to just to enjoy the party, extravagant party, right? And then Gatsby's automobiles, that is found collection of cars. Okay, we say that if the person is rich, then he or she must have the so many of cars and latest models and so. Then there is something like Gatsby's bright yellow Rolls Royce, which I didn't get. What is it? And multiple types of cheating. Yeah, multiple types of cheating. That is marital infidelity between uh, Tom and Dizzy, then Wilson and Myrtle. Okay, and there's some DJ Eichelberg billboard. Yeah. Element of billboard is a person's eyes emphasized by a pair of eyeglasses staring down at the motorist who zoom by on their way to doing whatever they want without consideration for morality or ethics. Yeah, that's it
Yeah, there is
from
some
my side.
pointer
May
written.
I add some?
Who is there? Let me read one point that has been mentioned in the chat box. You can also go through that. The green light he used to watch at night is an image of the American dream, which he knows is distant as he has achieved it superficially. Laboni has mentioned that point. Okay, somebody was saying something. Just please continue.
I was saying that on the topic of corruption, may I say something?
Manjula, I think
Voice
you are
is
not
breaking.
audible. You please
Yeah.
rejoin it. Maybe there is a problem at your network. You join it, then put your points in there. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay, fine. Lalka she will add her points later. Okay, and do you feel anything left, or
She
you want
she
to
might
conclude it?
type also. She might type also.
Okay, 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 fine. She has left. Fine. Alka, you just conclude this answer. Okay, then we will finish. We are going to finish it in
The
10-15 minutes.
major imagery in the poem, in the novel, is the green light, which also represents that even today we have that the green card image in our mind whenever we come across the word America or about anything related to America. That green card flashes us. So that's a very like that is an image which is even today symbolic. So that can also be added there in the green light part. And I think the wall and the green light and the cars are the major imagery used, and even the clothing also, because how flashy colors Gatsby used to wear is one of the like it can be added in the characterization also, because he dresses in a very weird and very different colors. So that's also an image which talks about the brightness, and he always wanted to be focused, like he wanted to attract everyone's sight. So these were the basic imagery. I don't think any other are there.
Okay, Alka, just do the question that was supposed to be done by Aruni on this corruption and the influence of money. Just do it in a quicker way, okay?
Okay, may I
See,
say something on corruption?
Yeah, yeah, please, Manjula.
Okay, I have written something on corruption. Note. Okay, I am reading that only. Okay, the American dream, as presented in the Jazz Age, is subject of to corruption. The spiritual aspect of the dream is lost in the vague glorious enjoyment of material wealth and the recklessness lifestyle. The associate with both Gatsby. The jazz age of corruption is also associated with Gatsby and the Buchanans in establishment in the first chapter by physical description of the Buchanan's eminence house and the spring lawn to be revealed only by the Gatsby. The lavish parties involve extravagant expenditure, luxurious cars, complete drunkenness, and amorous adventure. Although Gatsby himself does not indulge in all of these, and especially in filtration of these, and especially in he nevertheless indulge others. Okay, I hope it is clear to all that the thing which they are doing in the parties and the material wealth, their lawn and the house are showing the corruption, how they have gained it. That is, Gatsby has earned the money with the bootlegging thing and the liquor business. That is not money by a true way. See, that is the thing I am going to say. Yes, such excess to violence, and it is noteworthy that the death car kills not only Myrtle but also finally Gatsby, whom Wilson killed under the mistaken notion that he was the driver. The idealistic and heroic Gatsby does not even reveal the truth. Thus, the heroic failure of Gatsby Roaring Twenties embodies a corrupt, immoral, and violent time in which loneliness, frustration, and lost spiritual value proves that the American dream had undoubtedly withered, or perhaps even an illusion. An illusion. I hope I am clear to all.
Yeah, I think if allowed, then there's a thing that in American Dream, money is money, no matter it's black or white. How it is earned and how it is used, what to show is not mattered. It's just a show of what is mattering, and how, whatever means the money is earned is earned.
Okay,
Yes, no one cared from where it has been earned, and
Yeah,
and
actually,
was it?
money is
Yeah.
money. Whatever
obviously,
means and
yes,
whatever is it is used for, like extravagant show off, parties, means money from
And
waste and
for
money in the waste.
there is one
for
good point
Gatsby,
also. There is one good point mentioned in the comment box. Lavoni, can you please explain it in a quick way?
Yes, adding to the points which are already mentioned, corruption, it is not only in terms of monetary basis. Yes, I agree that American dream, it doesn't matter from where you earn the money, you need to have money, even if it is in corrupt ways. But one thing which Gatsby wanted is show off, showing people he has lot of wealth in a way to attract Daisy towards him. So all the relationships were corrupted because when Gatsby dies, Tom does his last rites, but there are hardly any people who come to his meet him during the last rites. Even his another person, I don't remember the name, who lives in the city with whom with whom Gatsby is involved with all those illegal uh, transactions. Even that person doesn't come in Tom's funeral, in Gatsby's funeral. So corruption is in terms of a lot of things, as mentioned by the speakers who mentioned earlier. Thank you.
Alka, just conclude this answer so that we can go on to another. Okay.
Basically, the corruption here is all about that the money which is earned was from bootlegging business, and it didn't had any kind of idea which business or from which source it was being earned. And the other thing which talks about the corruption influence was that it was used in a very uh, mm, extravagant style, and that was all due to the because he wanted to show Daisy, and he wanted him back. He wanted her back, And whereas Daisy never cared about what all things Gatsby was doing. So that is also one of the point we can add here, that the corruption was in the minds also. There was no the morality was hidden here. So that can also be mentioned. I think other we don't have a very large answer to this question.
Okay, fine. Lips, are you there? I think she has left. Okay, fine. What other questions are important according to you, Alka, which we have not discussed yet?
Themes can be discussed. Like we have discussed the American dream
We have
as a
discussed the
theme.
corruption. We have discussed the concept of American dream as well. We have discussed the concept of corruption and influence. We have discussed the American society critique. Okay, and
I'm just saying that there are other themes as well which can be discussed. Other points have been covered.
but I want, if you could just take this question, discuss Great Gatsby as an autobiographical novel. Can you do this, or anybody in the
Uh,
group who can do this?
yes, I can do that. I can do the answer. Okay,
Or
so
any?
if
Okay, fine. Let's continue.
okay, uh, in this novel we can see the reflections, like the reflection of Fitzgerald's own life in the both character, in the Nick as well as Great Gatsby, because there are a few flashes of his inner side in the Nick, and few flashes of the outer life in Gatsby's life. Gatsby looks very furious, which and he's very. Uh, do I read it? It's a very long one. I have written it. I read it.
It's a long. Is it really a long one?
Yeah, 3 pages long. Actually, it would be better if I'll just share this answer in the tele, because Amarnath sir has shared it with me. I have it. It's a long one.
Okay, you can share it in the group. Okay, fine. If you
Yeah,
it is a long one.
yeah.
Anybody, if you
Uh,
just some key points.
I
Yeah, can
have
I can I share something?
Yeah, who is there?
Aware.
Oh God, now it's working. Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I'd like to add is Nick Carraway is the mouthpiece of Fitzgerald. So basically, Nick Carraway belongs to the Midwestern end, right? So when he comes to New York, he is fascinated by the lifestyle, the flashy lifestyle. He lives in the East Egg, is a neighbor of Jay Gatsby. So basically, he, as a mouthpiece of Fitzgerald, is a narrator of the entire novel and does reflect on the thoughts of Fitzgerald and his way of, how he sees the roaring 20s, how he views the jazz age. And Nick is a perfect example of, you know, Fitzgerald's philosophy of the two different sides of New York, two very different sides of New York City. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Avya, hello.
Yeah,
There is one more question about the compare between the Gatsby and
Tom.
yeah.
Yes,
Can you just give
yes,
me some points on that?
sure. So Nick Carraway is the narrator of the novel.
He has basically participated in World War One, so he is pretty much open-minded. He comes to New York and he observes basically the flashy lifestyle, and he loves that lifestyle. But on the other hand, when he realizes his neighbor, Jay Gatsby, and how lavish parties he throws, and he basically sees through the moral, setup, and that the hollowness, and that becomes very evident to him, the hollowness of the society as well as the flashy lifestyle, and there is a conflict basically in Nick Carraway. So this conflict is symbolized by his relationship with his girlfriend Jordan Baker. And basically, Nick Carraway is a very open-minded person. He is one of the perfect narrators because he does not in any way overpower your story. He sits back and he observes every character, right? Since he is the cousin of Daisy Buckman, he was also a colleague or a classmate of Tom Buckman. So he has described Tom Buckman as a very physically strong, heavy built person. So Tom Buckman is very strong, he is physically attractive, he comes from a wealthy family, but on the other hand, he is very short tempered. Tom Buckman is wealthy, but he never uses his wealth for his wife Daisy. Instead, he cheats on her, and he buys expensive gifts, materialistic things for his mistress, Myrtle, and he's very short tempered. So that is Tom Buckman, who has no brains. He gets angry very soon, does not have rational thinking. On the other hand, Nick Carraway is very rational, and yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, there is a difference. The question was,
Between Gatsby and Tom, and not Nick and Tom.
Oh,
okay, fine.
I can talk about Jay Gatsby as well. So
That
Jay
would be great
Gatsby.
if you can.
So Jay Gatsby basically was okay. He was not from a wealthy family, though he loved Daisy, and Daisy too loved him. But again, society and class come into play, and so basically, Jay Gatsby gets into all these illegal activities, gets into bootlegging, and Daisy gets to marry a wealthy man, Tom Buckman. Somewhere along the lines, Jay Gatsby has not been able to forget Daisy, and he knows where she stays. So, to attract her from across the river, he throws all these lavish parties and has host celebrities and actors and whatnots of the city, and just to attract Daisy. And when Nick learns about it, he tries to make the two lovers meet. And so basically Gatsby is so overpowered by his wealth, and it just gets to his brains, whereas though Tom is rich, but his wealth is not as much as Jay Gatsby's. So yeah, Jay Gatsby is rich, he's in love, he is broken, he is conflicted, and yeah, and meets with a very tragic end. So that's about it.
Okay. Alka, just the question of American Dream was assigned to Pallavi. I just want her to give the conclusion on that. Pallavi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Just jot down all the points. Just give us a recap and everything that you know about in a quick way. Or so, okay, on the American Dream. Okay, it is an important part of the. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I haven't prepared much, but I will still tell whatever I prepared. So, on the American Dream, first of all, we will explain what is American Dream, a little bit of historical parts. I'm not good at that, historical parts. So, after that, we will relate it to the green light symbol or imagery, maybe that it is unreachable for Gatsby first of all, and then American Dream for Gatsby can be uh, like he achieved it through illegal means, but still he achieved it. But at the core, the dream was uh, his like his dream was still not corrupted. I mean, he achieved all that money, that American dream for Daisy, and yeah, that's it. I know that much.
Thank you. That was the answer I was expecting at this moment of the time. Thank you very much for making it too short. Alka, just give the last conclusion of this novel and any important question left. Then we will wrap it up. Okay. Then we will hit if it is possible. Then we will hit one or two questions that are in on the background or something very much important. Okay.
We've covered all the important portions of this novel, I think.
Fine. We are done with Great
And
Gatsby, right?
yeah, we are done with it. Yes.
Okay, and any other question from those part of the which are not from the significantly on specifically from a novel? Kalyan, you were asking yesterday as well. Any question related to that?
Just a sec.
Just like the distinctive features of American novels.
Yeah, actually, I couldn't prepare that answer. Sorry for that.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
definitely come back tomorrow with that answer.
No problem because today is the last day of our discussion.
Oh God, so sorry
No
about that. I will
problem.
make the answer
No
and
problem.
send it
No
to you.
no
Yeah.
problem.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all a
Yes,
problem.
yes.
We are not you.
We
We are
we
not your
can
headache.
yeah.
Not at
We
all.
have
Actually,
don't worry, Kalyani ma'am. Most of these questions have been already shared
see,
by all of
I can
the
share a very
seniors.
short part if we discuss about characteristics of a 19th century American novel. In very short, I'll say in within 2 minutes only.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
I have this characteristics of 19th century American novel. So first of all, this 19th century American novel can be divided into three periods. First is this romantic period that is from 1800 to 1860. Second is American Renaissance that is 1840 to 1860, and third is the realist movement or the realism. Okay, that was I think 1860 to 1900 or maybe more. So when we talk about this romantic period, the theme of personal journey in regards to independence. Okay, writers they self-express their own lives during the process. I'm talking about the romantic period, the first part of the 19th century, characteristic of 19th century, that writers express themselves. Then a romanticist wished to move life from the sorry from their urban areas to the nature or the rural areas. So actually, they want to come up. They want to groom themselves. Okay, romanticists associated this area, the rural, with clarity, purity, and independence. I will repeat this. Romanticists associated this area, the rural, with clarity, purity, and independence. Then we come to the next point, that is the American Renaissance, that was between 1840 to 1860. Actually, it is a kind of overlap with the Romanticism period. Okay, so it was the period with which has instilled value in what it means to be American. Actually, it tried to reflect. This was the time the writers tried to reflect the Americanness, that we are Americans. Okay, so American Renaissance writers desperately wanted to define themselves as American, not British. So if you remember in starting also I said that due to this British colonies, proper American people were not able to express themselves. So this was the period of American Renaissance, 1840 to 60, where they tried to say that we are Americans, not Britishers. And the main characteristics of this American Renaissance was the rise of feminism, okay, rise of abolitionism, or the kind of revolution wrote against racism and all. Then the third point is necessity of self improvement. These are all the points included in American Renaissance. And now I will come to directly come to the realist movement or the realism. This period's writer wished to focus upon society's realism, that problems exist within the American culture. So, okay, I'm not explaining, elaborating too much. I'm just saying this in short. This period's writer wished to focus upon society's realism, that problems exist within the American culture. So the realists therefore focused upon the changing specific social problems seen in America.
Okay, the realist part we were realism we were talking about, they actually wanted to show that this is America, not what Britishers they are representing us. Okay, so the realists wanted to portray life as it was, and their focus was on the ordinary human being and trail and turbulations with this individual or group faced. Okay, so this is in very short I can explain. I will send the notes of this one also. Okay.
Okay, fine, fine. I think Alka, we have done almost everything. Now anybody want to ask anything from anywhere? Shikha, you were saying something, I think. Shikha?
No, sir.
Okay, fine, done. You are very
Yeah,
much like you have all the points like of bullet points. Rather, you have a machine gun. Whenever a question is there, you have a lot of points. You fire them like a machine gun. That's amazing. You can elaborate them later as well. Okay.
sorry. Want to ask, I want to request one thing that cannot be arranged another class for tomorrow as well. It's an interesting and it covers
I
and
know it is an interesting, but see,
kind of
we are
for us.
we will see if it is possible, but it is
Which
99.99% impossible.
which novel are you thinking to cover in the next class?
Block one, block one.
Oh, I can't help in that. Sorry. I have just skipped that.
Okay, we will think that just a day before exam, if it is possible, we will connect for an hour. Okay, if it is possible. And अभी तो
Did
ना है मेरी तरफ से भी.
uh, did we discuss the Catcher in the Rye also?
We didn't discuss it because we if we started today and it will surely go after 11. Okay, and it is not possible because many of the people are going to wake up in the morning as well, and they have other subjects as well to prepare for them.
It's
Okay.
Oh,
what
okay,
so
okay.
We will share the notes, and guys, if you like the session, do tell us in the WhatsApp group. Okay, and if you don't like the session, do tell us as well. Else I and Alka will keep on discussing. I think they didn't like the session. That's why people left and something like that. Okay,
we loved
and
it. We are trained for tomorrow as
uh, we,
Is that
we
why
will.
you were silent, Junaid?
What happened?
I said, is that why you were silent today?
No, no. I don't should share in
Actually,
it
we were
to.
pretty confused ki, like, was it helpful or not? Like,
Okay.
all of us have been taken lots of classes, but we didn't knew was it helpful or not.
Sharon, I want to know the name of the earphone or the headset that you are using. It is so amazing, yeah. Okay, now,
One plus, one plus.
okay, fine. The noise cancellation. Okay, fine. Now we are going to wrap it up and good night, everyone. Shabba khair. Alka, you just give a concluding mark and I am going to listen to you. Take care.
Can I quickly ask
Oh,
before you conclude? I was slightly confused about Sister Carrie novel of no sorry idea of novels, novel of ideas. No, novel of ideas. I did read through a little bit of it, but I might require a little bit help. So if anybody can just put in the notes. And Junaid, where are we putting our notes? Is there any Google Drive or in the WhatsApp group only? Just writing it and taking a picture and sending.
See, Sharon, whatever we have,
No,
we put
I don't
it
know.
in
Whatever we have, I have it.
in
But
the
in,
Telegram, but not only in the Telegram. If you check the group description, okay, I have
ah,
also put there. Okay, and if it is not in the MAG11 group, I will also share the drive link in the MAG11 as well. Alka has prepared the MAG11 all the notes drive.
yeah,
Okay,
I
I
have
will
that.
share that. Okay, fine, you will get
No, I
there.
have it. I have it. Oh, I mean, I have it somewhere in the bookmark only. But I'm
but
just
Okay.
please,
Sharon,
thinking that
actually,
is there
I have
anything new?
Sharon. Actually, I have shared this answer in that group itself. I am currently not in that group. You
Yeah,
can see that, and if you need, you can add more points to that.
yeah.
Okay, this topic I have specifically written this topic and posted in that group. Please look
Okay,
through the
so
documents
is it
further.
okay if I also write my answer and just put it on the drive?
Definitely, you
Yeah.
can put your words. It's not a hard and fast rule that you need to write what is
You
written.
should,
You
you
have to.
should.
You should actually, yeah.
share the drive link again, please. It's a request.
What
and for
happened?
the Sister Carrie as an idea, you can just like, the answer is very good shared. Only one point is missing there, which I found was that. MS puts the idea towards through the character of MS. DeZero tries to put that the materialistic assess about the American society, that material value doesn't give you pleasure, and that towards the end, Sister Carrie also finds that she has everything. She has fame, she has money, she has respect, everything, but she doesn't have any family member or anyone to celebrate with, and she's left lonely on that rocking chair, looking outside the window, but all alone. She has no one to talk to. So that's something which is missing in that answer shared.
Can you please share the drive link again in MEG11 WhatsApp group?
See, in WhatsApp group as well, you can just see. I have shared it just okay now. Just
Okay,
check
thank
it
you
there.
so much.
Okay, the top two links. Two are the drive links. Note one and note two. Both are the drive links, and we are updating the notes as well because whenever we get another note, we are going to add it there as well. Don't worry about anything. Shikha, please download Telegram. I had also explained it to you
I
yesterday as well.
did that. I want notes for MEG 5, 7, 10 also if you
In
have.
in
All drives
every
are
in
available.
all the groups, just go to their group description. Do you know how to go to the group description? You just click on the group icon or group profile picture, then you go to the group description, and each group has the link of the notes. If there is any class, we put the class links as well. If there is a solved assignment, we put the link of that as well. And if there is anything else, we also do it there. Okay, don't worry, you we can find everything in the group description. If you, okay.
Thank
Has
you.
anyone given any of the paper, like MEG 15 or 16, any idea what kind of paper it was?
mm, I
No
have the
one, I
paper,
think.
I don't have the idea. Let me see, people were
That
discussing about it.
I had
Do
seen
I?
the paper.
I have MEG 15, but I didn't attended it. I saved it for next term.
Have you took a look like what kind of paper it was? Was it from the past year or something new, or
It
some
was a
different
different
style as
one
well?
from the previous one.
Yeah, actually, in the MEG 15 group, it was shared. The paper was shared, and the one who attended it said that it was different from the previous one. It has, matlab, the questions were asked in a twisted way, I guess.
There were direct Earlier there were
Okay.
direct questions from different novels, okay, but this time they chosen the discussion over the context. Okay, it is more appropriate to say that the exam of comparative literature, not only comparing the novels but the literature. Okay,
Okay.
so you can see surprises as well and be ready for the surprise. Okay.
That gives the good, like I enjoyed that surprise.
Yeah, you
I
enjoy that
personally
surprise, and
enjoyed.
almost out of if even 1 lakh students are appearing na, only 1000 will pass, and you are enjoying in 1000, and rest you don't know because they are going to ask the notes again.
अरे नहीं, actually, this straight question doesn't give you excitement. It never excites you. It's just a straightforward answer. So I don't like that. मेरी तो वैसी खिचड़ी बनती है, क्वेश्चन हो चाहे आंसर हो.
ओके, चल अलका कंक्लूड कर, खत्म करते हैं इसको, अब बंद करते हैं, चल ठीक है ना, 11 बज
क्या
गए।
कंक्लूड करूँ ये तो
गुड
बता.
नाइट बोल, गुड नाइट।
Good good night everyone. Take care. All the best.
गुड नाइट
Good
कल्याणी
night, good
मैम।
night, good night, good
Thank
night.
you,
All the
ma'am.
best.
गुड
Thank you,
नाइट
Kalyani
आव्या,
ma'am, for
गुड नाइट
Thank
sparing
श्रेणी,
you
so
so
गुड
much
much.
time for
नाइट,
all of us.
Yeah,
गुड नाइट
thanks,
एवरी,
Falka, Junaid.
थैंक्स टू एवरीवन to join
Thanks to
us.
everyone for putting so many points and reviving all the novels again.
Yeah, and the best part is the Laboni was recording this session today, and she has shared the recording as
Great.
well.
Great.
Okay, fine. Have a good night, everyone. और जिसका दुआ
Bye.
में याद
Good
रखना भाई
night.
लोगों।
वो तो रोज भी याद करा देती है कि जुनैद को याद रखना दुआओं में.
नहीं, बिकॉज जल्दी जितने दिन पास आ रहे थे एग्जाम के उतना ज्यादा दुआ रखो, दुआ करो।
हाँ, अभी
Okay,
जिस
अरे एग्जाम ही है, रॉकेट साइंस नहीं
MEG
है।
8 का है ना कल लोगों का. MEG 8 किस किस का है?
होता तो यहाँ नहीं होते
सॉरी,
अलका, कैसी बात कर रही है?
मेरे जैसे तो होते। मैं एग्जाम से पहले वो सब्जेक्ट नहीं पढ़ती हूँ, बाकी सब पढ़ती हूँ।
ओके, आई
चलो,
थिंक
बाय।
बस हमारे यहाँ पे सिर्फ दो ही लोग थे जो पास कर चुके, कल्याणी मैम और आविया माथुर, दो ही लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया था जो पास आउट है। ओके, बाकी सब तो
Oh,
लगे पड़े मेहनत में, है ना?
great. They took time for all of us. Thank you.
या they took time only for us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you first of all Kalyani
चलो,
ma'am,
चलो।
and then thank you
Please.
Avya. Chaturvedi sir,
कल्याणी
in this
मैम,
to be good
मैम
night.
ट्राइंग में।
गुड नाइट।
इनको कल की रिकॉर्डिंग दे दो अगर हो तो।
हाँ मैं भेज दूंगा अगर मुझे मिलेगी तो किसी से। बाय,
ओके,
चलो एंड
बाय,
करो।
Okay.
थैंक यू।
Okay, guys. All the
गुड नाइट
best. All the best.
एवरीवन।
Good night.
या, थैंक यू।